What's up, everybody? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net. Behind me, you'll see my next offering. Super excited to show you this car. It's an absolute gorgeous Survivor. Beautiful 1994 Lincoln Town car with just 28,000 miles. You can probably just see it in the background there, how nice and clean, crystal clear those headlights are. This car, you know just by seeing that how nice this one is. You don't see these anymore. The 1994s, I can't even remember the last time I had one through the shop. They're not out there, and this is an absolute Survivor. Super excited to show you this car, fully serviced, fully sorted, ready to go. I'm gonna tell you all about it, price, everything right here in this video. Let's get into it. And here she is, a beautiful, gorgeous, stunning Survivor. I know I use that term a lot with all my cars because most of my cars are that. And there's just some things that, I don't know, you just can't duplicate in fixing up or cleaning up, these old town cars, the old Bromes. There's just something about originality and cleanliness that just grabs your attention, the crispness of a car like this. And for anybody who knows these cars, just absolutely knows the details to look for on a car like this to tell you how crisp, how clean, how loved this town car was. From the headlights and front parking lights to being, seeing them crystal clear like that, all the chrome rub strips down the side being nice and clear and crisp and deep bright chrome. The gasketing around the windows, all that stuff on these town cars, all common to see start to show age, no matter, if it's a low mileage car and garage. But this car is just a Survivor. There's no other way to put it. And I'm not trying to, sound, I don't know. I get so excited about these cars. You know me, if you've been watching me long enough, you know how excited I get for these 90s town cars. These 90s Cadillacs, that's my thing, that's my era. And I remember these cars when they were a few years old. They were everywhere, and now they're not. And to see one like this, or like that 96 Cartier I had, get out of here, fly. To see one nice and clean and well preserved and loved, it brings you back, to that time of seeing these things new, and you just don't see that anymore. Most of these things are all clapped out at this point. This one survived. That's why it's a Survivor. I know the old school car guys are going to be like, oh, it's a 94 town car. It's not a Survivor. A 68 Charger is a Survivor. This is a Survivor because actually the crazy thing is, this car, it's hard to believe how old this car is. And it gives me a kind of like a flashback of my age. This car is actually, its birthday is today. August 3rd of 1993 was when this car was built. It's a 94 model year. So this car is turning 31 years old. And so going back to that age thing of the older timers versus, us younger guys that are getting into this, these are our 57 Chevys. I tell my dad that. These are our 76 Cutlasses or whatever it was that brought us back to our youth. That's what this is to me. And the old timers don't get it, I don't think. Well, some of them do. My dad's starting to get it. It's generational, and generations are changing, and stuff like this is becoming very sought after because it survived. It's been loved. It's been cared for. It wasn't turned into an Avis rental car and just beat the hell out of. It didn't get passed through the family and Uncle Fester owned it and just, destroyed it. It's just not that car. It's a Survivor. I don't know where all these little bugs are coming from. So this is a beautiful one. 28,000 mile example. This is an executive series. So it is the entry-level trim package, but it does have options. It's got leather, it's got dual power, stuff like that, but it's got condition. Looking at this car, you can see those original Ford headlights. They're plastic capsules, and you know as well as I do that those things yellow up just by seeing the sun and being exposed. The chrome inlays on the bumper, stuff like that. Even the deep bright chrome on the grille, no pitting on the hood ornament, stuff like that Just really shows how well this car was loved, how well this car was cared for. You can see a deep chrome there. Just very, very nice. Even the paint on this car is absolutely gorgeous. So this is a local car to me. This car actually belonged to my local detailer. It's funny, my detailer loves the same cars that I do, and that's originally how we met. He bought this car out of Ohio. It was a one family owned car, and he bought it back in 2021, I believe. And it was passed between the family from the brother to the sister inherited the car. Car was sold new out of Metropolitan Lincoln Mercury, out of Kentucky. I forget what town in Kentucky, but it was sold new in Kentucky. And then the car migrated up to Ohio, I believe, after the brother had passed. The sister inherited the car and kept it for many years, but didn't really drive it, didn't really use it. And just really loved it, but preserved it in her brother's memory, really. Then Sean bought this car. He's done a ton of service to it. Has taken extremely great care of this car, and it shows, and that's why I'm super proud to have it here at my shop. We're gonna go around this car, point out just a few. I mean, like, I'm really grasping for any defects on this car. There are a couple small little blemishes throughout as I'm dying here, but I'm excited to do this video today because this is the car's birthday, August 3rd of 1993, when this car was built. I got that off the Marty report. So we'll start on the front here. We're already up here. Beautiful chrome. I mean, just the chrome and bright work here on the headlights. Again, I already pointed out those crystal clear headlights, cornering or turn signals, cornering lights. Beautiful deep chrome on this 93, 94 specific grille. You can see the 90 to 92s had straight slats in these centerpieces here, where the 93 and 94 had these little indentations, just a little indentation to change it. Essentially the same grille bolts in the centerpiece, but 93, 94, they did change that. You can see that there. Beautiful bright work on the bumper. Even the license plate bracket is just absolutely perfect all the way around. Not dinged or bashed up from bumping into things. Has the original Ford screws. Front bumper just shows really well. Few little bug marks here and there. Minor puck marks, maybe from old bug carnage, but very clean. Lights, lenses on this side, again, nice and clean. Paint on the header panel. There's no road rash or stone chips. Coming down the bumper here, again, those chrome inserts. Usually these start to yellow and peel. Very nice shape. Lincoln cornering lights. Love it. Has a beautiful two-tone painted stripe. It's kind of like a navy blue to match the interior, then like maybe a charcoal on the bottom there. Paint on the hood, nice and deep. This car has probably been ceramic coated 19 times in the last 3 or 4 years that Sean has owned it, because he is an absolute perfectionist, and it shows in this car how he's taken care of this car, how he's preserved this car. Even the wheels are just in beautiful shape. These are 15-inch geometric spoke wheels. Real common wheel, beautiful wheel, but again, you just don't see them this clean. These are Tiger Paw, Uniroyal Tiger Paw tires that I put on for him. 22 is the date code, so they're only just a couple of years old. If I remember right, the tires that were on it when I took these off, he asked me to put the tires on because he was paranoid about bringing it somewhere and having them put the tires on and scratching the wheels, and or not listening and putting wheel weights on the outside. So I was more than happy to do that for him. But it had really nice tires on it that was just extremely flat spotted from sitting. So that's why we put new tires on. Trim and weather stripping around the windshield is in beautiful shape. Has a tiny little stone chip right there. Dash pad, we'll get into that in a little while. Motorcraft wiper blades. Nice deep chrome. I don't know if you can see me sweating. It's like 99 degrees out today, and it's the real feel is like 107. I am just dying. Paint on the roof is in beautiful shape. Again, just the gasket. Like, look at the chrome here. How nice and bright the chrome is. Usually that starts to yellow. He did tell me he had the windows tinted. It's a legal 35% tint, I believe. Ceramic tint, high-end quality tint. Usually I don't like tint on cars, but this isn't very dark. It might show darker in the camera, but I can see clearly through the car. And what this does is this, at this point, protects the interior of these cars, these beautiful older leather interiors. You want to protect them as much as you can. Very, very nice, just all throughout. Paint on this car, beautiful. Has a quarter mounted power antenna. I'm skipping over a lot here. Let's go back. Again, you can see even the gasketing around the door seals. You get the keyless entry code here, or input pad. I want to lock it with the keys in it. Beautiful shape, no wear. Come down to the door, no dings or anything. Looks like a little chip that might have been touched up at one point there. Another little chip right there. A couple little minor guys right on the door edge, or molding edge. Nothing on the metal door edge though. And a beautiful painted stripe throughout the whole car. Just beautiful bright work. Little itty bitty guy right there. Nice and clean, no rust. I mean, look at how clean that dog leg is. Inside you can see the frame rail, nice and clean. Just super, super nice, well-maintained car. Well cared for, well loved, well cherished. That's what I absolutely love in these old town cars. Got going on here, a couple little spots. I must have leaned up against it. There we go. That's the thing, this car was so clean when it came in, and any little speck I must have done myself, because Sean takes great care of these things. Real nice clean chrome throughout. Does have, you can see a crack, a stress crack right in the taillight there. I am going to try to source a taillight for this car. It's really, I don't know. I mean, it's there. It's not busted open, but I will get a taillight. Like I said in my last video, this is 90 to 94 specific because the emblem is raised, where the 95, 6, and 7s are countersunk. You can see here Metropolitan Lincoln Mercury, the old original dealer tag. Rear light reflector with reverse lights in beautiful shape. Just got a nice gloss to it. Even like the tops of the bumpers. Look at how nice the paint is on these bumpers here. Super, super clean. We got the little trunk flipper. Apparently doesn't stay. Oh, no, there we go. Oop, I almost took my finger off there. Paint on this car is gorgeous. And again, multi-year ceramic coating. Glad you can't see me right now behind the camera because I am just dripping wet. Not a visual you probably needed, but it's running down my face. Beautiful tint on the windows. Like I said, I'm usually not a tint guy, but I get it, especially on a car like this. If it was black tint, I'd have them remove it, or I'd say I'd remove it, but this I can do. Tastefully done. I guess that's the terminology I want to use. And again, beautiful painted stripe down the side. Clean wheel arches, and no chrome, no extras, no, you know, gingerbread as I call it. Just look at how nice and clean it is in there. See if we can focus. Is it gonna focus? I don't think it's gonna focus. Again, beautiful wheels. These Tiger Paw tires are just 2 years old. Probably have only a few thousand miles on them. Do have a little guy right there, a little chip. And one itty bitty guy right there. Door edges again, nice, beautiful weather stripping. I mean, just, you can see the color, like the gloss of this. Usually these dry out, beautiful stainless, not oxidized. Just so nice. Good heated power side mirrors. I like the little chrome mirrors they put on these cars. I like the other ones because they were bigger, like 95, 6.7, but I think the chrome kind of accents. It also ages the car a little bit. You know, I think the monotone mirror housings on the newer ones, 95, 6.7, give it that little bit more of a modern look. They're taking away a little bit of the chrome, just like they took away. You can see here, this car 90 to 94 had the dual strips down the side here, where the 95, 6.7 had just a single. This is the original Carlite windshield. I did notice coming over here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a very, very minor crack, actually, it looks like, right in the top corner of the windshield here. I'm sure Sean probably noticed it. I didn't even notice it, but it's kind of up in the tint band, just right on this corner. One of those things that I wouldn't replace, because you are not going to get another Carlite windshield, let alone one with this nice chrome trim on it. Out of sight, you can see it on the outside if you look at the right angle, but something that really wouldn't bother me at all. Just super clean. Again, chunky tires, beautiful wheels. Maybe a little bitty guy right there. Probably an old wheel weight was there. The original ones, the weights were on the outside, but very, very nice. Again, paint on the hood, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Little stone chip right there. Just look at the gloss on the bumper. Usually the bumpers are the first to fade on these cars. A few little chips, one touched up, two touched up, and then a very small scratch right there. But otherwise, very, very beautiful, very presentable. I don't know which word I'm using a lot today. Very beautiful, stunning. I'm not sure what the word of the day is. My brain is melting inside my head right now. So I'm excited to get inside this car because it's got beautiful ice cold air conditioning. But all right, so let's dive on to the interior of this car. I'll show you that beautiful navy blue leather interior that is just absolutely beautifully preserved, just as the outside is. And then we'll take it for a spin. All right, well, let's take a look inside this beautiful white over blue, just a real classic Lincoln, even a classic Cadillac combination, but a classic combination of luxury car of its era, white over navy blue. I love this color combination. Honestly, I have a couple Broughams in my collection. My 93 Fleetwood's this color combo. It was a very popular combination back then. We'll start off inside the jams here and then we'll work our way through. But you can see here, 8 of 93 was the manufacturing date. To be on it, or to be exact, it was today of 93. So August 3rd of 1993 was its official date of birth. You can see all the gold anodizing. Just super clean inside, all the jams, all the plastics. Lincoln sill plates, insignias. Now this car is missing all the striker bushings. One of them was hanging on the back door and it just came off. I touched it, it came off. I do have 4 new striker bushings coming. I used my last set of striker bushings on that 96, so I will replace all those bushings before she leaves. But just super nice. All the weather stripping here. It's absolutely beautiful throughout. Carpeting. Now, normally I have the floor mats in the back, but he's got the trunk mat all nice and tidy, and I wanted to show that off. So I left the floor mats inside the car here, but as you can imagine, let me get under here. It's nice and clean under there. Just as clean as it is above. Beautiful leather in this car. Nice, soft, supple leather. Got that kind of, I don't know if you'd call this like a tuck and roll style. Lincoln insignia on the seat backs. Beautiful leather wrapped wheel. Oop. Cruise switches, horn. I love the classic. This is like an old school Ford steering wheel, which I love. All the wood and chrome trimmings, obviously plastic wood, but you know, just beautiful, beautiful shape. We'll get more into that in just a little bit when we dive in behind the wheel, but I want to show you that. Door panel here. I mean, just zero wear and tear on the inside of this car. Even the carpeting, backing here is in great shape. This guy nice and clean. All the wood and chrome, usually, again, this is all worn off, but this is just absolutely clean, clean, clean. Speaker grills, carpeting, real nice, real well preserved. Super clean. All the gasketing, like I said, is just beautiful. Even like this felt gasket, you can kind of still see like the original sheen on it of the, like that fresh fabric, carpety look, you know what I'm saying? Door pull straps are all in great shape. I mean, just everything is beautiful. Little flip open ashtrays, both work perfectly. Carpeting, beautiful. Seat backs, even the rear seat, nice soft leather. Headliner, all that stuff. I mean, just look at how clean it is. Cleaner than the Board of Health. All right, now let's go over to the passenger side. And super clean, super nice. All the weather stripping, door jambs. Just, I mean, look at how nice the ashtrays are. This is another example of when I say I love northern cars. I get that question a lot. Like, do you love Florida cars, southern cars, north? You know, where do you like to get your cars from, basically? And I like to get them from the north because look at this. There's no fade anywhere on the interior. You know, obviously it could have been garage in Florida too, but garaging in Florida, if it's not a climate-controlled garage, will still cause wear and tear. And heat eventually gets to it, and the humidity gets to it, and that's what starts drooping headliners. And this car is just so fresh, so clean, but so preserved because it was a northern car. That's the answer to my question, or your question that I get asked, is where I like to get my cars from, and that's up north. A lot of people are like, oh, they're all rusty, but you get a car like this that was just preserved, not winter driven, and it's nicer than a Florida car. Doesn't see the sunshine all the time. And this kind of reminds me of my 93 Fleetwood that I got out of Canada. That car lived in a garage and was in a cool climate. I mean, just look at how nice this is. Would you look at that? I don't know if you guys will get that. Some might get that. Just look at that. Would you just look at that there? Beautiful original carpeting. Again, all the wood trimming on this dash. That is a super common weak point on these cars. This one is mint leather. Beautiful, soft, supple. Just super comfortable. All right, let's dive behind the wheel. Pop the hood, we'll pop the trunk, show you what I got for keys, books, all that good stuff. And then on the road. All right, let's take a look under the hood and in the trunk. We'll start with the trunk first. Tidy as tidy can be. Sean was a protector of all things Lincoln Town Car. WeatherTech foil, windshield cover for the interior to preserve the interior. If you took it out, you'd have that. He also has a beautiful $700 car cover made for this car. It's weatherproofed. He just re-weatherproofed this for when he could have it at home and have it out. He had a cover for it as well. Has the original mini spare, which has never been on the ground. Very, very rare to see this. This is a fitted Lincoln floor mat for the trunk. Those you just don't see anymore. Little grease stain there, but very, very clean. And actually underneath this looks like more old lady mats. These are old lady mats for sure. I'm sure these probably came with the car and he wanted to keep them with it. I would. Very old lady mat-ish. So those were probably on top of that, on top of the other ones. The floor mats, like I said, are already inside the car. Inside the trunk jam, super clean. You can see here, I point these out whenever I can. These are quality control markings or stamps. When this car went down the line, they're all last names of guys, gals on the assembly line that stamp, boop, boop, boop. And it's ink. So with a swipe of, an abrasive cleaner or lacquer thinner or something would take that right off. What's crazy is most of the time they're right, you can see it here. It's right on the edge right on where the trunk sits down on the gasket, and that's not even worn off there. Look at the gloss on the paint inside the deck lid. You can very clearly see my reflection in there. Just, again, all part of how nice this car was maintained. Trunk pull down, power antenna works. Come up under the hood. And it's just as clean under the hood. And this car isn't, restored like this. This car was a really nice, preserved car. Probably on accident. It was probably dusty when he got it. But he cleaned it up and just, everything is just nice, tidy. The plastic, everything is nice and clean. The cross support of the radiator support is super clean. Just tidy, tidy, tidy. Ice cold air. Runs beautiful. I'll tell you all the service work that he's recently done to this car. I mean, just look at how clean this is. All inside the jams. All in the jams here. Even the brake lines and everything, nice and clean. Under hood insulation pad in beautiful shape. Under the hood itself, super, super nice. Even has a working under hood light. All right, now let's take it for a spin. All right, behind the wheel, I love to show you what I got for keys, books, all that good stuff. Tons of stuff with this car, but we'll start off with keys. We have two original. These are real hard to find, these old school Lincoln key fobs. You get your lock, unlock, a little panic button, but they have the Lincoln logo. These aren't like the newer ones that were in like the 98 and up, the square ones that, you see so many of them. These are old school, has the old school Lincoln keys, 2 sets of those, and even has the Lincoln keychain that if the keys are lost, drop in a mailbox and Lincoln will pay their way back to the owner. We'll start it up. $28,477 miles. Oh boy, that air conditioning feels good. We'll close the door here because that thing's probably gonna just keep on chiming. Tons of goodies. We have a locking lug tool or a key for that. A couple extra door clips. These little blue door clips. I think I remember Sean asking me for those back then. I always keep little stuff like that. 94 Lincoln Town Car, probably owner's cassette. Michael Jackson's Thriller cassette, goes hand in hand. Books, you got the original books. You got an uncut wallet key, the original Mark Cross pen, little pamphlets, all that good stuff in the leather bound case. And then just tons of service records for this car. California car cover. I won't show you any of that stuff because it's probably got his address and stuff on it, but I'll show you. Yeah, that stuff was not cheap. Formula One Lumina, that's probably for the window tints. Ford serviced even before he bought it. But yeah, tons of service records all come with this car. Now, sitting behind the wheel here, I mean, just absolutely a time warp. Throws you right back into time, because you see how nice and clean and crisp that chrome trim is. Again, it's all plastic foil over kind of artificial chrome, but anybody who had one of these cars can definitely agree with me how all this stuff would all be worn out and just it starts flaking off. Use an abrasive cleaner and it's gone. Automatic headlights. You have dual power seats on both sides. All works. Power windows. Effortlessly go up and down. All window motors have been rebuilt. Typical for these cars. I think I even helped them do a couple of them. Dash pad, beautiful. The other thing that was super common with these cars, and I don't know if I'm getting a wind noise here, but is this climate control cluster. Nothing against you ladies out there that might be watching, but when these were women-owned cars, women would take, I mean, I guess men can do it too, would take their fingers and push these buttons and blow in all the little plastic buttons, so then at night you'd get like the white light coming from the broken buttons. Look at how beautiful the buttons are on this car. Just super, super nice, which is, again, another indication of how nice this car is. Leather wrapped wheel horn. You got all the readouts here. Trip meters. It's very warm. Has a very minor crack right there. Nothing crazy. Dual cup holders. I mean, just super, super clean. All right, let's take her for a spin. All right, let's get on the road. What a beautiful driving car. 28,477 miles. Cold air. Beautiful interior. This is what Lincoln dreams are made of right here. All right, so I showed you all the service records in the, well, I didn't show them, but you saw they exist. As far as things that have been done since 21, when Sean got this car, and I think I want to say he bought it right around 23,000 miles. I told you I helped him. I mounted those tires on for him. Those were good quality tires he put on this car. He did obviously oil changes, did a rear diff service, transmission service, did the transmission fluid and filter, all new shocks, new rear airbags, new upper and lower ball joints, all 4 window motors rebuilt, EGR valve, plugs, wires, coils, stuff like that. The car has been sorted, so you can get in, take it up on the road, and just look at her go. All right, let's see if we can merge on the traffic. I see you coming up behind me. There we go. An absolutely beautiful cruiser. Doing 78. We're gonna set this. Speed control is on. And we're gonna shut it off. If you're looking for a tidy 90 to 94 town car, again, I don't get these things often. I'm thinking back now, the last time I had one, I had a black on black signature that was a gorgeous car. I really wish I kept that car. That was probably before COVID, maybe around COVID. It's been a while, because these cars just don't exist. You know, in this type of condition, they're getting few and far between, you know, in this survivor-like condition. And that's what really draws me in on these cars. Because I remember as a kid, my uncle actually when I was a kid, he had a 91 town car, like Uncle Fester's, red interior, executive white with the turbine wheels. I remember that car vividly as a kid. And then he got a 93 or a 94 black car with gray leather town car, And I just remember sitting in that car and riding in that car, and all his buttons were bashed in, and you know, this is back in the day. He wasn't very easy on cars, but you know, I just vividly remember sitting behind that square or rectangular shaped airbag and just thinking, like, you know, how badass we were in this town car. You know, I was a young kid, I was impressionable, and this is probably late 90s, you know, and I just thought, like, wow, look at us in this cool town car. They were just, I don't know, that's what makes me love this thing so much, is it brings me right back to when my uncle had his town cars that were this vintage. And I believe Sean gets tied back to these town cars because of his grandfather. So it's all, you know, generational memory things, you know. And at the age this car is, 30 plus years old, again, this was like my dad's 57 Chevy. To him, he bought his 57 in 1985. And you know, it's hard to believe that this is that same time frame, just moved up the calendar a little bit, but here we are. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Any questions, give me a call, 978-930-1004. Check me out on Instagram and Facebook. I do all my sneak peeks there. Let me know what you think down in the comments of this super mint town car. And like always, don't let distance stop you from getting a dream car like this in your driveway. I'll ship it anywhere to you. I can help assisting in shipping. One call really can do it all. Price on this Lincoln Town Car, we're going to be asking $14,995. Again, thanks everybody for watching. Give me a call, 978-930-1004, and let's see if we can make this birthday Lincoln your early birthday gift.